Mr. Vice Chancellor, members of the honorary party, graduands, families, what a pleasure it is to be back to celebrate your accomplishments. And before I introduce the honorary degree recipient, I would like to say that I share something with you. Last year it was hard for me to leave Carleton, and I'm sure it'll be hard for you too. But when I left, I knew it was in great hands because Dr. Alistair Summerlee came to fill in. But he not only filled in, he did a terrific job for this university, and he deserves a big round of applause. Let us thank him most sincerely. And now I'm going to introduce the honorary degree recipient, Gilles Patry. Gilles Patry began his career as professor of engineering and taught at the École Polytechnique de Montréal and McMaster. He then worked in the private sector, notably founding Hydromantis, a company which still exists today and that used his unique modeling and simulation process for wastewater facilities. He went to the University of California, Davis to do his PhD, and then returned to Ottawa to become Dean of Engineering, Vice President, and then President and Vice Chancellor, the first alumnus of the University of Ottawa, who was also born in the region, to serve in this position. As an academic, Dr. Patry continues his distinguished career, which includes over 125 articles, one of which, Dynamic Modeling of the Clarification Thickening Process, co-authored with Lacus and Nolasco, was recognized as one of the 10 most significant groundbreaking papers in 40 years of publication of the premier scientific journal, Water Research. In addition, Dr. Patry has served as associate editor of the Journal of Environmental Engineering. He was named a Fellow of the Canadian Academy of Engineering. In accomplishing so much in such a short space of time, Gilles certainly emulated the work ethic of his namesake, Gilles, who was, centuries ago, a French hermit, and whose achievements led him to be canonized. Dr. Patry's expertise on water makes it highly appropriate that he be recognized at Carleton, where the Global Water Institute works under the direction of Banu Ormechi. I think it is safe to say that at Carleton, as at nearly every institution across the country, we regard Dr. Patry's work daily with great respect. Carleton's VSIM labs and building stand as just one example of the way the Canada Foundation for Innovation continues to support researchers across the country. Today's students, as we celebrate your accomplishments and those of a wise and talented leader in every field in which he has worked, I think of France. And in France, every day of the year is assigned to a name. The name Gilles is celebrated on September 1st. However, today, June 12th, is now your special day, Gilles, and it's also the special day of every member of this graduating class. In French, the word patrie means more than country. It signifies homeland. Dr. Patry has served his patrie nobly with distinction, brilliant thought, dignity, and innovation. He has served thousands of students and researchers, providing them a home for their pursuit of knowledge and making Canada a true intellectual patrie for us all. He's represented Canada internationally on many occasions, accompanying the Governor General to India, China, and Mongolia, for example. He was an important contributor to the books on innovation by His Excellency David Johnston and Tom Jenkins. He continues to lead and serve the academic community in his role as president of the U15, where he's gained universal respect for his clear, logical, and equitable policy recommendations. He has served on many boards, including the Ontario Centres of Excellence, the Canada Merit Scholarship Foundation, and the Canadian Water Network. His leadership and extraordinary accomplishments have been recognized by other universities that have awarded him honorary degrees, such as Western, Waterloo, McMaster, and Lyon in France. Finally, it is Carleton's turn. He is a Chevalier of the Ordre de la Pléiade and was recognized as Executive of the Year by the Regroupement des gens d'affaires de la Capitale. He is a member of the Order of Ontario and the Order of Canada. Vice Chancellor Summerlee, in recognition of Dr. Patry's extraordinary contributions to Canada, his fine work as professor, researcher, private sector entrepreneur, academic leader, and his innovative and brilliant work leading the Canada Foundation for Innovation and the U15, I ask you to confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Gilles, I wonder, when you hear all that, what you remember of the days that you sat here as an undergraduate, and whether you ever thought that you would be as stunningly successful as you are today. And as such, you create an incredible role model for our graduating class. Thank you for everything that you do. And by the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors and on the recommendation of Senate, I am delighted to admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations. I would like to invite Dr. Gilles Patry to give the Convocation address.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, Chair of the Board of Governors, graduates, distinguished guests. First, allow me to express my most sincere thanks and appreciation to the Senate of Carleton University for bestowing upon me such a great honor. I would also like to express my appreciation to my colleague and friend, President and Vice Chancellor Alistair Summerlee. I had the good fortune of working side by side with Alistair when we were both presidents in the year 2000s. I'd also like to express my thanks to President O'Reilly Runta, currently President of and CEO of the Canada Foundation for Innovation. You know, I can think of no better person to lead the wonderful organization that is the Canada Foundation for Innovation. And I'm delighted to see so many friends and colleagues and mentors here today. Let me mention John Absimon. John and I were co-conspirators for many years on many exciting projects between the University of Ottawa and Carleton. I can think of many, and John will remember a reskilling program that we did together where we took engineers and scientists and retrained them in software engineering in the year 1996, 97, 2000. And this was called OVITES, the Ottawa Venture in the training of engineers and scientists in software engineering. Dear graduates, on this very special day, I take pleasure in congratulating you on your academic achievements. You have actually earned your degree. You should be proud of your accomplishments who have brought you to this important transition in your lives. I know all of you have worked hard to get here, but let me also acknowledge the contribution of your parents, family members, teachers, mentors, and friends who have supported you during your studies at Carleton. Without them, the journey would have been more difficult and less rewarding. I'm truly humbled to receive an honorary degree from the Faculty of Science at Carleton, a university that has made so many important contributions to science in general and to physics, particularly at the Sudbury Neutrino Observatory, where Carleton researchers have been key partners in Canada's 2016 Nobel Prize in Physics. In fact, few people know that Carleton and the University of Ottawa are really tied at the hip. Not only because we're a stone's throw away from each other, but because the graduates in engineering, science, and economics benefit from a unique partnership between the two universities, where we share some 33 programs at the master's and PhD level. As I look around this hall, I see that the graduates of the class of 2018 constitute a highly diverse group of individuals. Its members are women and men born in Canada and in all corners of the world. Many are parents, and some are caregivers. Many have studied part-time while pursuing a career. Many will enter the workplace, while others will engage in graduate and postdoctoral studies. In each and every one of you, Carleton has been eager to cultivate a love of learning and to expand your capacity to seek and find meaning and fulfillment in everything you do. When we combine this ideal with the ideal of excellence, we have what I believe is the true definition of the university, and of Carleton University in particular. The university, as you can now testify, is a formidable space of intellectual exchange and freedom, where teachers, students pursue a common goal: the acquisition of knowledge, skills and development of competencies, and the development of a critical and ethical approach that is so important for those who want to play a constructive role in this complex world of ours. As you have heard, for the past 7 years, I had the pleasure and privilege of leading a wonderful organization called the Canada Foundation for Innovation, an organization created by the Government of Canada to support world-class research by investing in state-of-the-art research facilities in universities, colleges, and research hospitals. Many of these investments have taken place right here at Carleton, in particle physics, in chemistry, computer science, medical imaging, digital humanities, and many other areas. Innovation is one of those words that is dropped everywhere by everyone, to a point where it may have lost its true meaning. It's important to recognize that innovation is rooted in research, in basic research. Innovation is not about technology. Innovation is about people. Innovation is about the desire to make things better for the benefit of the people around us, for the benefit of society. And that is the ultimate goal. As science graduates, you have worked and interacted with faculty members dedicated to their research activities in a broad range of disciplines. Why would these individuals be so dedicated to their teaching and research activities? I would argue that all of them do this with the desire to make things better, to improve the quality of life of Canadians. As was mentioned, the past Governor General David Johnston, a former university president, recently co-authored a book entitled Ingenious: How Canadian Innovators Made the World Better. In it, he lists 297 innovations that show really how creative Canadians are, including innovations ranging from alkaline batteries, canola oil, the electron microscope, the pacemaker, peanut butter, the zipper, and the electric light bulb. Yes, the electric light bulb. The electric light bulb was not invented by Edison, but by Henry Woodward in 1874 in Toronto. In his book, The Innovators, another author, Walter Isaacson, says that innovation requires at least 3 things: a great idea, the talent to execute it, and the business savvy to turn it into a successful product. The president of Georgia Tech, Bud Peterson, frames it a little bit differently when he says, and I quote, "An idea is not an invention is not a product, and a product is not a business. The process of taking an idea and making it a business to benefit society is really quite complex, and that is innovation. While Woodward may have invented the light bulb, it was Edison that made it a successful product and a thriving business. As scientists, I encourage you to be innovators, to explore new ways of doing things. The enemy of innovation is complacency, and it is something to fear. We often hear, that's good enough. Things are pretty good as they stand, so why change it? Well, if you don't, somebody else will. Someone else would have invented the pacemaker or the zipper. In his latest book, Isaacson also says, and the book is entitled Leonardo da Vinci, in his latest book, he reflects on the genius of Leonardo. And he finishes the book with a few thoughts that are very appropriate to the graduates of the class of 2018. He says, be curious, relentlessly curious. Seek knowledge for its own sake. Retain a childlike sense of wonder. Respect facts. In this day and age, facts do matter. Avoid silos. Collaborate with others. And let your reach exceed your grasp. As new alumni of Carleton, you will now play a pivotal role in society and in the reputation building of your institution. Wherever your journey may take you, a new city, a new province, a new country, share your stories about Carleton, about your program, about its diversity, more importantly, about your achievements. After all, that is why we're here today, to celebrate your success. Carleton is about excellence and about accomplishments. It's about pride in its past, commitment to its present tasks and goals, and the promise of a bright future. Please take with you my warmest and best wishes for success. Thank you very much.